Hello, this is Erica. I am one of the students in the Mental Health, Wellness, and Healthcare Integration class. And this is going to be my video presentation on the event that I attended. Specifically, it was spiritual based. It is at a church that I do attend. Now, the event was first time ever attending. It was my son's baptism. And in this video presentation, I will speak more on this visitation and experience. So with my experience of watching my son get baptized, I do think can contribute to overall preventative care and wellness because it offers a positive influence by witnessing a meaningful moment. It was definitely a meaningful moment that my son chose in his life. It also emphasizes the importance of social interaction and the strength of community. It can serve as a healthy coping mechanism as many people deal with stress by turning to spiritual beliefs, religion, and rituals like baptism for coping. It has been proven that many things have a positive effect on a person, including a better quality of life and increased resilience when faced with physical and emotional challenges if they choose to utilize religion and spiritual beliefs. In true transparency, any stressors I did have at the time were irrelevant attending this event. Seeing my son make a beautiful decision with him and God, truly everything else disappeared in that moment. And it was a lovely event, and it was truly a blessing. Additionally, spirituality can provide a sense of purpose and meaning. It connects us to seeing or experiencing something greater than ourselves, which is a strong foundation for our well-being. I want to make note, baptism itself may not have a direct physical effect on preventative care from a medical perspective or standpoint. However, the associated spiritual practices can influence our support systems, mental health, and coping mechanisms. I do believe that baptism is a powerful symbol, especially in a faith-based recovery framework. The ritual represents a new beginning that a person publicly proclaims in front of God if they choose, if they choose to. It is a very effective intervention. Again, if you choose the option or choose to get baptized, especially for trauma, addiction, and various mental and behavioral issues. So just kind of to look a little bit more in depth in the symbolism of baptism. The symbolic elements of baptism shows the death of the old self, and being submerged in water can serve as a spiritual sign of no longer being enslaved to destructive behaviors. This also signifies a new life, as being brought up from the water symbolizes this. In a therapeutic sense, this can empower a person to work toward their well-being and serve as a form of hope. In the clinical sense, faith-based treatment centers can view baptism as more of a complementary approach to evidence-based practices rather than like a standalone solution. So, for example, a Christian counselor may discuss baptism with their client to frame and symbolize their personal transformation if the client is wanting to do so. As an example. So just kind of furthering on my experience, experiencing and being present for my son's baptism brought me immense joy. It was just beautiful. It brought me peace and gratitude. It was beautiful to witness my child commit to Christ in such a meaningful way. It is a spiritual milestone and a step into community where he can, strengthen and grow in his faith. I felt a deep connection, a spiritual connection, and a sense of peace, and I truly felt that God was present in that moment. This gave me a profound sense of purpose in raising my child in faith, knowing that he's very proud of it, as are we. And this was his own choice. And again, myself and his dad and his brother is very proud of him. Although I would not specifically advise a client to get baptized, I want to emphasize it's based on the ethical consideration. It would be inappropriate to, just blatantly promote a specific religious practice regardless of my personal beliefs, because it may not be the belief of that client. So I need to be able to respect, and of course, respecting my client's autonomy and supporting their beliefs is essential in their healing journey. However, if the client wishes to explore and decide to incorporate their beliefs into their treatment, that is definitely something to consider, provided the client gives that consent. Other holistic approaches are treated similarly, since they focus on different aspects of the client's lives. A holistic framework can provide lasting benefits for their mind, body, and spirit. So it's important to point out that treatment is always tailored to the client's specific needs. So with that being said, this is the end of my presentation. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. God bless and take care. Bye.